Hello class, this is your instructor reviewing how to code for neoplasms, and I'm at your chapter 6 of your Let's Code It textbook, so please make sure you are using that along with me so you can follow the same steps and help understand how to code for neoplasm. So as you can see, I'm on chapter 6, coding neoplasm. It's giving you a little bit of scenario, but what I want you to do is to start coding with me right now. So I'm on page 154 right here on the right side of the page, and I am looking at the neoplasm table in your coding manual, and I want you to go to page 336 in your Optum coding manual. That's the one I have. But if you don't know how to find your neoplasm table in your coding manual, I want you to go to the content page in the very beginning of your coding manual and find the table of neoplasm. So you can put me on hold and find it and come back to this page. So now that you have your coding manual and your textbook on your course page, I want you to follow me. So we're looking at a scenario. Okay, the scenario says Dr. Tomlinson diagnosed Elsa with a malignant neoplasm of the abdominal viscera, noted as carcinoma in situ. So follow me along. I know you probably have too many questions, but what we want to do first is to make sure that we understand how to use the coding manual in finding the correct code. So if you are on your Optum coding manual looking at this page exactly the way we see it on the textbook, I want you to see how your neoplasm table starts. This is the first word you will see on your coding manual. Neoplasm, neoplastic. And if the doctor does not say anything but neoplasm, this is what you will use to find the code. As long as you have a location given, such as abdomen, any kind of location in the body given to you, you will go according to that. So now we have a malignant neoplasm of the abdominal viscera, and that is what we're going to use. So we come down to your table and we start going down the first column of your coding manual, trying to find the neoplasm and the location. So you can see it says abdominal, right? So that's my location. That is how we find the code for the neoplasm. So we're looking for abdominal, and we see abdomen, we see abdominal. Now the abdominal is a huge location. What kind of abdominal or what exact site of abdominal area we're looking for? It says viscera. So let's go, and under the abdomen, do you see how you have different choices as cavity, organ, and viscera? So these are all indented. Do you see the two dashed lines instead of one dashed line? So this is only for abdomen. These three different locations under abdomen are only for abdomen, since they're indented under the abdominal or abdomen main term of your, actually subterm of your table. So now that we know it's viscera, okay, we are going to fixate our choice right here. And then we're going to see what kind of cancer, because remember, do you see how many choices we have here? Now we're going to find the kind of cancer. So the first thing was neoplasm. The second was the location, and then the location's exact position, and then the kind of cancer. This is our last choice to find. And you can see we have malignant primary, malignant secondary, carcinoma in situ, benign, uncertain, and unspecified. So I go back to my doctor's notes, and I have to figure out what kind of cancer it is, since I'm looking for everything individually, step by step, not rushing into anything. So now that we have viscera, we will follow the row of the viscera, and we will pass over to the right kind of the carcinoma right here, D09.8. Okay, super. We have a code. All right, is this a confirmation of the code? Not yet, because anytime you find anything in the index, this is still the index of your coding manual, we always need to confirm the code in the tabular list, exactly how it says at the paragraph below. Next, turn to the tabular list to check this code and all of the notations. Why do we go there? Because we need to confirm all the coding conventions as you did in your Unit 1, understanding the coding conventions, understanding the coding guidelines that will be applicable to you to confirm the coding specificity before you put this code down on the claim form to be submitted to the insurance company for proper reimbursement. That is something you will always remember as a medical coder. It also says you must check the suggested code in the tabular list, read the symbols and the notations, read the complete description of all the options, and check the official guidelines before you can confirm the and report a code. So let's go to our tabular list. And how do we find the tabular list? Do you see how you have a D05 written on the page, on the very top right side of the page in your coding manual, which is the tabular part of your coding manual is the right half of the book. So when you go to that part, you turn over some pages and you will see alphanumeric codes written on top of each page. And you're looking for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And right now we're looking for D09. So we go to the upper pages, review, and find the correct code. And I just said that I am on page D495 in my Optum tabular list. I also want you to know that every code starts with a 3-digit code. D09 is called the category code. And we always need to make sure we always check the category code, because as you can see, there are some notations written here, such as excludes 1, which is melanoma, meaning we cannot use this code here. Then you have other codes given over here, but they are D09.1, D09.2, and remember, we're looking for D09.8. So this is not the ones that we're looking for. It is on the second column, so let's move to that. Here we are, the second column on the same page, D09.8. It says carcinoma in situ of other specified site. Specified means that the doctor must have written something that is specified by the doctor. So there's nothing missing. The only thing missing is the documentation or the details on the manual. So in the manual, we do not have abdominal given. Instead of abdominal, we have specified site. That does not mean that this is the wrong code, but it is what we have in the coding manual in the tabular section confirming the code. So we can easily use this code and put it on the claim form for the submission, because that is what the insurance company needs to see, is the justification of the code, even though if there is some detailed information missing, but you are providing the correct code as per your own research and confirmation as a coder. You always have to make sure that there's no check mark, right? As you can see, you have these red squares given before each code at the bottom, and we also saw that in the category code. As long as you don't have that, as long as you not have any other notes given, such as you can see there's notes under D09.3, it says excludes 1, carcinoma of the endocrine, carcinoma of the ovary. Those are the codes that you cannot use here. That's what excludes 1 means, and you have to understand these coding conventions. These are called coding conventions, such as excludes 1 and excludes 2. You might see use additional code. There are so many other conventions as you reviewed in your Unit 1. Now that you understand how to follow the table of neoplasm, confirm the code in the tabular list, let's do another example. This is also in your textbook, page 155, less coded scenario, and these are really easy to follow if you can review them and follow them step by step, because they're giving you the details of everything here step by step. So the question says, Aaron Docker, 65-year-old male, returns to see Dr. Cabrera. Results of his colonoscopy and lab tests on the biopsy have come back. Dr. Cabrera confirms Aaron has a benign neoplasm of the ascending colon. Right? Benign neoplasm of the ascending colon. Now, you know what to do, right? What are you going to do first? Think, pause, and let me know. Okay, if you said find the neoplasm table, that is correct. That's exactly what you're going to do, is go to the same table of neoplasm as we did before, and we found the table of neoplasm. And then you were going to go follow the alphabetical order of the location. Remember, what was the location? Ascending colon. So we're looking for ascending colon. Do we have one or do we not? Let's take a look at the neoplasm table. So here we are on page 342 in my Optum coding manual, and looking at the main term or subterm intestine, and make sure you are looking at both sides of the page. There is one column for the letter G, and then you have to be on the same page to find the letter I on the second right side of the same page. This is not a second page, it's the same page, so don't get confused. You might not be able to find the term if you're looking at the other page after going through the G's on the first side. So make sure you are on the same page. And looking at the intestine on the second side of the same page, intestine, and under intestine you see large. And under large intestine, and remember, go according to the indentation. Intestine, not intestinal. We're looking for large intestine. And the large intestine is also another name for your colon. So this is a confusion that you might have to learn as you practice and understand the different terminologies used in the coding manual. So it's just another thing that you have to make sure you remember. So under the large, which is also another word for colon, you do see colon. And under colon, you see and rectum and ascending. Which one are you going to choose? You don't have the word rectum in your doctor's notes, right? So you will choose intestine, large. Large is another word for colon. And we have colon. We have different kind of large intestine, parts of the large intestine. So we choose colon. Under colon, we choose ascending. And then we start moving to the columns of the different kinds of cancer. So going forwards from the different columns for malignant, secondary, carcinoma in situ, this is the code for the benign cancer as per our doctor's documentation, which is D12.2. After we find the code in the neoplasm table, we go to the tabular list. And you know how to find your tabular list. You find the alphanumeric codes on the top, get to the closest possible, and then look for the one that you have to confirm, which is D12.2. benign neoplasm of the ascending colon. So now you have a confirmation, and remember, you're always reading notes everywhere written. Do you have anything under D12.2? No. The second thing we have to confirm in this tabular list is the mother code, which is what I call mother code, but it is actually a category code. A category code is a 3-digit code, which is the beginning for all these codes with the digits and onwards, adding more information. So anytime you add a digit, you are adding further information to it. So let's go to the subcategory code and see if there are any notes for me to pay attention to. Here is my category code D12. D12 is the mother code because it gives you so much information. Do you see how there's an exclude 1 telling you not to use this code? And then you have AHA tips, some of the things that you need to read to confirm according to your doctor's note. None of these things here applies to our code, and we already have a confirmation of D12.2. Everything that I just explained to you is written right here. Okay, they're giving you exactly how to find the code and confirm in your tabular list. So please make sure that you're always reading and going through these scenarios, because they're giving you step-by-step methods of how to find the code exactly how I did. If you use your coding manuals and go along with this, it will help you immensely in creating a good concept of how to find the correct codes, how to confirm them in the tabular list, and be very careful in submitting your claim form when you start working as a medical coder or as a medical biller, to confirm your codes and prevent any kind of an error on the claim form and get your reimbursement as soon as possible without any rejections or denials. I hope this helps. And if you still have any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will probably create another video for you and send it to you as you need it. Just let me know exactly what you want. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care.